Hello guys, how are you? My name is Professor Aftab Khan and I'm teaching you thesis seminar and we discussed so many lectures before and this is week number 14 and after this week there will be week number 15 which will be your final examination. So in today's week, which is week number 14, we discuss revision regarding your thesis seminar, regarding your research. And again, from the starting and towards the end, we will discuss again, we will revise all the things again in a thorough manner in today's lecture because this is the ending line, this is the ending week of this semester, and after this week, there will be 15th week, and in the 15th week you guys have your final examination, and your final examination is comprised of your thesis project, which you already some students already submitted to me and some students have left to submit me. So those students who have not submitted me their thesis, so please, I'm requesting you again to please submit it to me again on time. Okay, so I will evaluate it and I will give you the gradings accordingly. Okay, so today is a revision week and we will revise our all elements, our all 13 weeks with the past which we discussed so in the past, for example, in week number 1 we discussed what is research, what is the definition of research. So this is again we gonna discuss this for your understanding and for your remembrance, because you will remember this always forever in your professional career, in your life. You will never forget this. So a careful consideration of study regarding a particular concern or problem using scientific methods. According to the American sociologist, research basically is a systematic inquiry to describe, explain, predict and control the observed phenomena. Research involves inductive and deductive methods. Inductive research methods are used to analyze and observe events. Deductive methods are used to verify the observed events. Inductive approaches are associated with the qualitative researches, and deductive methods are more commonly associated with the quantitative researches. So research is conducted with the purpose to understand what do organizations or business really want to find out, what are the processes that need to be followed to chase the idea, what are the arguments that need to be built around the concept, what is the evidence that will be required for people to believe in the idea or concepts. So the characteristics of research, what are the characteristics? In the second week we discuss the characteristics of research. What are the characteristics of research? What are the types of research? Okay, so there are two types of research. The first one is the qualitative, the second one is the quantitative. Because you people are belongs with the law side or the business side, so lawyers basically, most of the researchers, because this is a social sciences subject, art subjects, theoretical subjects, so it is based on the qualitative side rather than the quantitative side. And the qualitative side, there are some models, the figures, frameworks, different charts, tables, and you will simulating them with the help of the simulations. You guys comparing your models, your charts, your simulations, and become an idea to generate an idea and to invent a new thing, and vice versa. But the quantitative research on the other hand belongs with the mathematics side. For example, it belongs with the statistical tools, mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation, different tools, regression values, z value, p value, confidence level, to check the confidence level of your survey, of your observations, and vice versa. So these are the things which we're gonna discuss about this, and in these things we have we already discussed this in a thorough manner in our week number 2. But the characteristics again we will describe this is a system. The characteristic number 1 is this is a systematic approach, must be followed for accurate data. rules, and procedures are an integral part of the process that set the objective. Researchers need to practice ethics and a code of conduct while making observations or drawing conclusions. The second one is research is based on logical reasoning and involves both inductive and deductive methods. The third one is the data or knowledge that is derived is in real time for actual observations in natural settings. The fourth one, there is a depth, there is an in-depth analysis of all data collected so that there are no anomalies associated with it. Research creates a path. Anomalies means research creates a path for generating new questions. Existing data helps create more opportunities for research. Research is analytical in nature. It makes use of all the available data so that there is no ambiguity in inference. Ambiguity means confusion, okay, problem, and inference means final result. Okay, so actually the accuracy is one of the most important aspects of research. The information that is obtained should be accurate and true to its nature. For example, laboratories provide a controlled environment to collect data. Accuracy is measured in the instruments used, the calibrations of instruments or tools, and the final result of the experiment. So what are the types of researches we gonna discuss in week number 3 or week number 4 as well. For example, basic research. There are type number 1 is the basic research, type number 2 applied research, type number 3 problem oriented research, type number 4 problem solving research, type number 5 qualitative research, type number 6 quantitative research, and vice versa. But usually there are two types of research in the commonly manner, quantitative and qualitative. If somebody asks you in your life how many types of research, you say, sir, commonly two types of research. The first one is the quantitative and the qualitative is on the other side. And somebody asks you in your life that in your master's thesis which methodology you adopted. So say clearly, sir, qualitative methodology we adopted because our research was based on the qualitative analysis. Understand this, because you are the lawyers or you are the business guys, you are the business lawyers, so easily say them that you belongs with your research belongs with the qualitative side. Okay, so these are the things which we're gonna discuss in week number 4 and 5. And basic research, which is the basic research definition, is the data collection to enhance knowledge. The main motivation is knowledge expansion. It is a non-commercial research that does not facilitate in creating or inventing anything. For example, an experiment to determine a simple fact, and then an applied research. An applied research focuses on analyzing and solving real-time problems. This type refers to the study that helps to solve practical problems using scientific methods. Studies plan an important role in solving issues that impact the overall well-being of humans. For example, finding a specific cure for a disease. And then, yes, week number 6 we discuss problem-solving oriented research. And in week number 6, what is this? It is a name suggests problem-solving research is conducted to understand the exact nature of a problem, to find out the relevant solutions. Okay, to find out the relevant solutions. And the term problem refers to multiple choices or issues when analyzing a situation. For example, revenue of a car company has decreased by, for suppose, 12% in the last year. The following could be probable cause: there is no optimum production, poor quality of a product, no advertising, or economic conditions. And then week number 7 we discuss problem solving research tools. This type of research is conducted by companies to understand and resolve their own you can say these problems. The problem solving method uses applied research to find solutions to the existing problems and vice versa. And then week number 8 we're going to discuss the following qualitative researches. For example, there are different techniques. There are 5 techniques overall. The first one is one-to-one interview, how to do your observation. The second one is the focus groups. The third one is the ethnographic research. The fourth one is the content or the text analysis. The fifth one is the case study research. So these are the things which we're gonna discuss is week number 8. Okay, and how to solve your observations, how to conduct your surveys, what are the techniques you're gonna use, you guys use in your research to find out the specific problem, and vice versa. So basically these are the things which we're gonna discuss. And yes, in week number 9, which we discussed, we already discussed that what is the purpose of the research and what are the purposes of the research. So there are 3 types of purposes of the research. The first one is the exploratory, the third one is the description, and the second one is the description, and the last one, which is the third one, is the explanatory. Exploratory, descriptive, and explanatory. Exploratory and explanatory are different things. It is not similar. Explanatory or exploratory. Exploration comes from the word discovery side, to create something. Explanatory means to explain something. So these are the different things. Okay, so there are 3 purposes of research. Students sometimes confused that exploratory and explanatory are the same things. No, these are not the same things. These are entirely different things. Exploratory means that these are the discoveries, these are the inventions. Okay, something you are exploring something. So though in the week number 10 we discuss about exploratory research, in week number 11 we're gonna discuss about descriptive research and the explanatory research, and vice versa. So exploratory research, what is this? Again, I'm repeating the week number 9 theme. As the name suggests, exploratory research is conducted to explore a group of questions. The answers and analytics may not offer a final conclusion to the perceived problem. It is conducted to handle new problem areas which have not been explored before. This exploratory process lays the foundation for more conclusive research and data collection. And then there will be a descriptive research. In the descriptive research, it focuses on expanding knowledge on current issues through a process of data collection. Descriptive studies are used to describe the behavior of a simple sample population. In a descriptive study, only one variable is required to conduct the study. So there are overall 3 main purposes of a descriptive research: and describing, explaining and validity the findings. For example, a study conducted to know if top level management leaders in the 21st century possesses the moral rights to receive a huge sum of money from the company profits. Okay, so in the week number 10 we discussed explanatory research. In the explanatory research, what is this? We discussed this in a thorough manner. Again, I am repeating the week number 10 lecture. Explanatory research or casual research is conducted to understand the impact of certain changes in existing standard procedures. Conducting experiments is the most popular form of casual research. For example, a study conducted to understand the effect of rebranding on consumer loyalty. Okay, so to understand the characteristics of research design using research purpose, there are different things. In the week number 12 we discussed this, that exploratory research are unstructured, but descriptive research are structured, and explanatory research are highly structured. Okay, so these are the research approach used. And then we already discussed in week number 12 regarding research conducting through through the for suppose our research conducted through exploratory research, then asking research questions. Again, in the descriptive research, we again asking research questions, and explanatory research is by using research hypothesis. Okay, so in those researches which we discuss hypothesis, it will be explanatory research. When is it conducted? Early stages of decision making in the explanatory, and descriptive research later stages of decision making, and explanatory research in the later stages of the decision making, and vice versa. So these are the things which we're gonna discuss in week number 12, and it was a very interesting thing which we're gonna discuss, which we already discussed. Okay, and then as I remembered in week number 12, we already discussed how to identifying research methodology. Okay, we discussed results. We discussed result and its description. Okay, and these are the things which we're gonna discuss in week number 13 in the last week, and we already discussed this, that identifying research methodology, how to identify the correct research methodology in the last weeks, in the previous weeks, which we're gonna discuss. So to in the continuation of those revision, yes, we will identify the research methodology by choosing the appropriate types of research. You need to clarify, identify the objectives. Some objectives to take into consideration for your business include: find out the needs of your clients, know their preferences and understand what is important to them, find an appropriate way to make your customers aware of your products and services, find ways to improve your products or services to suit the needs of your customers. After identifying what you need to know, you should ask that research methods will offer you that information. So it organizes your questions within the framework of the 7 P's of marketing that influence your company: product, price, promotion, place, people. You can say this: processes and physical tests, and vice versa. Okay, product, price, place, promotion. These are the 4 P's of marketing, but in the marketing or the business aspect, research aspects, now there is 7 P's of marketing. And what are they? Product, price, place, promotion, and people, processes, and physical tests. Okay, so a well organized customer research processes produces valid, accurate, reliable, timely, and complete results that rigorously reflect the opinion and needs of your clients. Will help you to grow your sales and improve your operations. To obtain the results, you need to establish and follow the process that you have detailed out for your organizations. To set your goals, these are the things which we already gonna discuss in the previous session, in the previous week. Yes, we will set some goals which define those that identify with yours. Make sure that your goals are smart goals and objectives. Do not presume the results of your surveys and vice versa. In the previous week, we also discussed how to plan your research, or what is the good planning of your research. So good planning allows the use of creative and logical approaches to select the matters that gather the most accurate information. Your plan will be influenced by the type and complexity of the information you need, the skills of your market research team, and how soon you need the information. Your budget also plays a large role in your ability to collect data. So collect and collate your results. Make a list of how you are going to carry out the research process, the data you need to collect, and collection methods. This will help you to keep track of your processes and make sense of your findings. It will also allow you to verify that your research accurately reflects the opinions of your clients and your market. Create a record table with the consumer research activity, the necessary of the data information, the method of the data collection, and the steps to follow the data analysis. So these are the things which we discussed. We also discussed in the previous weeks, like in the previous chapters, regarding the validity of your research, the accuracy of your research, the reliability of your research, the timely accuracy of your research, and the completeness of your research. So these are the things which we're gonna discuss. Also, that your research must be valid, your research must be accurate, your research must be reliable, your research must be timely accurate. Okay, because time cost is also very important, and your research must be complete. We cannot say this, that your research will be incomplete. So what is the difference between a complete and an incomplete research? For example, as I inform you, we have 8 elements. We have 8 elements of our research. Okay, for example, title. Okay, purpose of the research, main body of the introduction, main body of the research. Okay, and then testing of your result, and your testing of your observations, and then result. Okay, and then discussion, and then references. Okay, as something is missing in among these 8 things, your research will be incomplete. Okay, so these 8 headings must be there, along with the table of contents, along with the references, along with the appendixes. Is there any appendix? Again, you have to give them in a thorough manner. So these are the things, my dear students, you need to discuss this, and we need to discuss this in a thorough manner, and definitely you guys have to prepare your research in your future research. For example, when you will go for your PhD level, and after this masters, definitely anybody has a chance, or anybody has a wish to do your PhD. So this course, this thesis seminar research course, is very very helpful for your understanding and for your future research, and it's a very interesting part in my point of view, and definitely it gives you a strong helpful for you a strong knowledge to become a good researcher, because research is a very valuable thing. Research is a very precious thing in my point of view, and you guys, and somebody is in good in research, you can be a research analyst in any company, in any larger organization, a research director and development. So this gives you a career edge. Okay, this is a very important subject, and I think that somebody asked me in my life that what is the most important subject in the whole masters or in my whole PhD level. So I think that thesis research project, this is the most important, valuable and interesting subject in my point of view when I was a student. Okay, so these are the things which we're gonna discuss, and then one thing you must sure that you keep the readings, the findings ready. Okay, your findings must be ready, which means choose a spreadsheet that allows you to easily enter your data. If you do not have a large amount of data or information, you should be able to manage them with the use of the basic tech tools available in survey softwares. Okay, if you have collected more complete and complex data, you may have to consider using specific programs or tools that will help you to manage your data, and vice versa. Review and interpret the information to draw conclusions, identify the main trends and issues, keep track of the frequency with which each of the main findings appears, make a list of your findings from the most common to the least common, evaluate a list of strengths, weakness, opportunities and threats that have been identified in the SWOT analysis. Okay, what is the SWOT analysis? SWOT, SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. What are your strengths of your research? What are the weakness of your research? What are the opportunities of your research? What are the threats of your research, and vice versa. So prepare a conclusion. In the conclusion you will give this. Okay, in the recommendation you can give your SWOT analysis, that these are the things, these are the strengths of this problem, these are the weakness of this research, these are the opportunities of this research, these are the threats of this research, of this problem, of this thesis, and vice versa. Okay, so these are the things which we're gonna discuss in today's approach, and then choose some strategies that will help you to improve your business. It act on your strategies, look for gaps in the information, and consider doing additional research is necessary. Plan to review the results of your research and consider efficient strategies to analyze and dissect results for interpretation, and vice versa. Okay, so these are the things, my dear students, which we're gonna discuss in today's revision week. After this week, which will be the week number 15, yes, I will upload a small video which will be of 2 to 3 minutes regarding your assignments, and regarding to describe your assignments that you have given me, and I will discuss it with you. And I think you will understand this. You enjoy this subject, you learn this subject. It's a very interesting subject, believe me. And again, I'm repeating for those students who have not submitted me their final project thesis, please submit it to me. Again, you have only 1 week left, and then there will be your final examination evaluation, and I will give you your grades regarding your final examination assessment, which based on your thesis results, project which you made. So please, I have a final request. It's a final request call for those students who have not submitted to me, and ignore this message already. Those students who already submitted to me their research projects. Okay, so thank you very much. We have a wonderful time in this online lecture. I'm also thankful to you that you listen my lectures, and yes, because of the coronavirus, this is an online semester in the whole world, in the whole university of the world, because of this pandemic disease. We pray to God that this disease will be finished forever from all over the world, and my country Pakistan also, from South Korea and all everywhere. And but we enjoyed this learning, because this online learning is also a very good learning for us, effective learning for us, and it helps us to learn more and more. Okay, so we will be continued towards the 15th week. Again, 15th week will be the final exam week, and in that week I will give you a 2 to 3 or 5 minutes, 3-4 minutes video of regarding your assignments, which will be the final examination. Okay, so there will be no final exam. Your thesis will be the final exam, and this is an online semester. Your assignments which you already submitted to me, this will be your final exam, and your research report will be your final exam. So I will check it, evaluate it, and I will give you the gradings accordingly. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Till then, goodbye, and we continue.